There he is.
Hello. Hello.
Hey.
I have Haunt playing in the background because it is a far better movie than my 13 spot.
13 spot. How many are there? Is there 13?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see here. Let me look at mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I only have 12 because I'm not ranking H3. I refuse.
Well, I have 13 because I'm ranking H3. So you're going to have to live with that, I guess.
This is what happens when you don't put a leash on Caleb. He doesn't like it. He's not into it.
It's franchise. It's part of the franchise.
It's not, though.
But it is.
But
it officially is.
I mean, you can
It's not like ranking Vengeance or Never Hike Alone in a Friday the 13th franchise. Like, this is a legit entry into the Halloween franchise.
Right, but it is, but it's not. Like, you can remove it, and it doesn't do anything between.
But it is. It has the title. It has the cast. It has.
It doesn't have any of the cast.
It's not like it's super high on the list.
Right, Dick Warlock is in there, and you got some talent from the directors and the blah blah blah. But you don't. I mean, you could take it out, and it's not a Halloween movie. And I just don't feel like it's fair. Like, I almost didn't want to put in the Rob Zombie movies because it's not fair to put.
No, what's not fair is adding Halloween Ends. Every other film deserves a spot here.
I'm just saying, putting in Halloween 3 up against like another movie with Michael Myers and actual franchise lore.
110 times more respectful than Halloween Ends.
It is, but Halloween 3, you could say Halloween 3 is the same as like All Hallows Eve. Like, if the franchise owner owned it and put it in the box set, you'd say that's the same as the Halloween franchise, but it's not.
It is, though. It's part of the franchise, whether you agree with it or not.
It's not even a connected universe. Like, there's a screen on the TV where Halloween's playing on the TV. Like, it's not even the same universe. It's not like you could put it in there. All due respect, you go for it. For me, it doesn't count. Shouldn't be in a box set. It has nothing to do with the rest of the franchise. I'll put like where my enjoyment level is, but as far as like legitimately putting it ahead of an actual Halloween movie, I cannot do it.
You can't put it ahead of Halloween Ends?
I can't.
Are you shitting me?
It doesn't have Michael Myers. It's not a Halloween franchise movie.
Halloween Ends doesn't either. Like, I don't.
I got that fizzy like back burp. Oh God, that hurt. Oh God, man, I hear you. I just can't do it. Let's see. Look at Paul. I said I don't rank 3 either. It doesn't count. Thank you, Paul.
It counts more than Ends.
To be mentioned ever again. I can respect that 100%.
If you have Ends higher than any other film on this list, I'm just gonna rage quit the chat.
Paul says, "Burn it down. Let it burn. It needs to die. Evil dies tonight."
So, we should. How do we want to do this? Since apparently I have one film more than you, because you suck.
I'll just say at the time. I'll just say with a caveat when we get there where Halloween 3 is placed, but that it doesn't actually take a ranking spot.
I think you've made your fanboy opinion heard. Halloween 3 counts so much more than Ends counts. I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry.
Halloween 3 would climb up the list a lot just because it doesn't offend me, but it offends me in the fact that it's not a Halloween movie. So it's weird because, like I said, it's a weird spot.
It's 2022. Stop saying offended. I can't today. I can't.
Yeah, trust me. I'm not the guy to talk about that. I'm the people that gets offended by people that get offended by stupid stuff. I'm like, get over it, suck it up. It's gonna be okay.
I just want to take a nap. I'm old.
I hear
I
you.
haven't slept good in like a week, so I'm hoping to, as soon as we get done with this, I am passing out. I am taking some Z-Quil, and I am getting sleep tonight.
Yeah, I've
Because
had a sinus infection since like early Tuesday, and that's just been kicking my butt. And then Benny's got diarrhea. Daycare providers, kids got flu. It's been bad. Let's talk about that. Green Ranger. Yeah, man, that's that 3-0 Green Ranger right there. He's got
I
the
thought you weren't
sword.
going to do it. I
Do it.
thought you weren't going to do it.
Well, to be fair, you can see the doll stand right there. So these things have really weak ankles, and the feet pop off. So they kind of need these anyway. So I got that guy right there with all the attachments and everything on it for $35, and it looks legit. And with the doll stand, it stands and looks fine. So it's normally like ranges on a deal about 80, but it's like normally $100. So I got it for $35. I was like, I'm gonna buy it. This is from those that 6-pack from like $40 on Amazon. So it has less articulation, but they look good together. So I'm buying all the helmets that I said I wasn't gonna buy. So they're gonna go behind the helmets eventually. But anyway, so real quick, so we're gonna go through our personal list. This is gonna be a combination of objective and subjective. They're gonna go hand in hand. It's just how lists are built. When we're done with our separate list, I want us to try to do a combined objective list. And we'll see how that goes. If one of us rage quits, we'll see.
Okay. Well, sure, go for it.
Well, oh God. All right. Yeah, number 13. And now, you know how there's like a honeymoon bias. There's there's that instant knee-jerk reaction. It's going to be Halloween Ends. Like, it
Okay.
ruined 2 previous movies. It gives me crap I don't want to see in its own movie. Like, I'll talk about later, like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. It's a good movie. It's like Halloween 3. It's a good movie, but if you attach it to the franchise, it's just not a good Halloween movie. It's shot well, cinematography, music's great, acting's good for the most part. Like, it's just the story, the direction, and the characters, which kind of like, especially the dialogue in this whole trilogy is piss poor and hits here again. But instead, the dialogue got toned down, but the stupid decisions got turned way up. Like, I wanted them to jump the shark, but they jumped the shark in the wrong direction. Instead of jumping the Michael Myers shark, they jumped the other shark. And I'm like, trying to be kind of spoiler free here, but I just don't understand. I don't understand. It's terrible. Everybody's wasted. All the ideas were abandoned. You can see from Kills. Kills is a filler movie, which is fine because it's the second movie, right? It is filling out the trilogy. But they had no trajectory, had no idea what it was doing. You literally could have ended the 3 movies at the end of the second movie by tacking on the last 15 minutes of the third movie, and you're done. Like, you missed nothing from it. And then use those ideas from Ends on its own standalone Halloween thing. Like, I understand if people like this movie. I understand why you like it. But I also think that you've confused yourself into liking it. You've talked yourself into liking it because you love the franchise. I love the franchise. But stupid story is stupid story. And I can't get past it. Sorry, I'm rambled, but I hate that movie.
No, you're good. Same for 13. I just have to say everything that was done with Michael was wrong, especially to end this particular sect of the franchise. Everything that was done with Laurie was wrong. Everything that was done with any returning character was wrong.
Wasted.
The concept isn't bad. It's just bad in this scenario. The last film of a franchise, of a section of the franchise, it would have worked somewhere in the middle. It would be a great fan film. It would be a fun nod to the franchise outside of what you're wanting to do as your trilogy. But unfortunately, you get Halloween 2018, which is a far greater movie than deserves this travesty of a treatment. And then Halloween Kills, which we've got a commenter here, Mr. Jason, who defends that movie to no end. I'm not a huge fan, but it is miles better than this, which I never thought that was going to be a statement that came out of my mouth. I was really hoping different meant better, but unfortunately, different just meant different.
Yeah. I mean, in Jason's defense, and where I'll rank Kills eventually is, if you want Michael to be awesome, he's awesome. If you want your good guys to be dumb and you want to see them killed and you want to see them put themselves in stupid, situations, it's a good turn your brain off, six-pack kind of movie. And if you accept it and you move into that, you're gonna have a great time. It's just once again the flavor shifts from 18 to Kills, and then ends. It just is so wonky. Like, and it's kind of sucks because you can see it where 18 is nothing really that special. Like, spoilers for 18, but he breaks out, he goes on a killing spree, final confrontation. It's nothing special. Kills is nothing special. He's roaming around, killing people, final confrontation, end of movie. Nothing special. This last movie, like I said, jumped the shark in the wrong direction, in a direction I never thought it would have. So yeah, man, Ends is the least. I mean, and I would hear arguments why it's higher, and that's fine. And I probably, I mean, it's the dead last. So, I mean, I could understand other people not putting it dead last. But
I also have to say, I've been seeing a lot of hate rolling around for people who like it versus people who dislike it. If you liked it, good. I'm glad you got something out of it. I really am. I'm not going to sit here and belittle you for your opinion because it's just that, an opinion. My list, you can tell me I'm wrong. That's fine, but it's my personal list.
Right. Yeah. In my mind, I'm right. You're wrong. You tell me why you're right and why I'm wrong and where we meet in between for some like-minded thoughts. Whatever, bring it on. But yeah, as far as I mean, if you have valid disagreements or something like that, or you're exploring what things meant in the movie, because a lot of it's open-ended, then as an adult, express your opinion and ask questions, or create a conversation. But yeah, just to say you're not a true fan or whatever, get out of here, because the fandom, from in a very short amount of time, in 10 years, there was a very weird, 10 plus ish years, there's a very weird line of Michael Myers. There's simplicity, and then there's crazy. Like, in 10 years, there's a lot of different options. And then in 20 years, there's even more. And then 40, it's all over the place. So,
yeah, it's wild, because at this point, I feel like the Friday the 13th franchise is, it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I'd say that. So, what's your number 12?
My number 12, we did a video on the worst Halloween movie, and this is more subjective. I could make an argument for objective, but I think that Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is awful. I think that the kills are great, acting's great. I don't like the direction of the characters. I don't like the random white horse that Rob Zombie saw on the side of the road and thought that looks cool and inserted it as a deeper brain spiritual mythology. I don't like that Michael's Jason. I don't like the fever dream that this movie is. I don't like the teleportation of Michael. Like, there's a lot I do like. I like how Michael looks. I like when he puts the mask on. Like, I like Laurie's pain and suffering, but it is a lot. Like, I like the sheriff, like Brad Dourif. He's a phenomenal actor in everything he does, but he's great in this movie. I just don't like, again, it's the flavor shift from Rob Zombie's first movie to this. Like, now we're supernatural, now we're Jason, mommy issues, blood connection, that's weird. Like, and then the ending, like, depending on if he talks or not, like, depending on if she dies, or I hate it. Like, it's a turd. Like, I can turn my brain off because I picture it as a Laurie fever dream, and it makes sense to me. The way I think that Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is all a dream, and that's how I make sense of it and make it work. So I hate it, but I can still make it work enough to enjoy it. That I hate it, but I can enjoy it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Loomis changing Rob Zombie's H2 is garbage. Like, I understand we all handle loss and trauma differently, but like, you could still make him be a money hungry turd by weaving that in a little bit more subtly. But when you make him this like pompous jerk, he's like, you know, I can't do it. I just can't. Like the
Man,
T and I'll slap you, and that's old Loomis. This is new Loomis. Like I just hate it all.
if you really did look at my list, you got to be seething. Um, that's
I barely
fine.
looked at it. I looked at your list briefly because I didn't want to be spoiled on tonight.
Well, I disagree with that choice there, but again, personal list. Um, my 12, is Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
And that is simply because what David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, John Carpenter, the whole kit and caboodle were saying with 18 and beyond is we want to take you back to basics. And they literally did the exact opposite with this film. You know, I'll talk about it in some other films, but a lot of the others were not that promise. They weren't that hey, we're gonna be the connective tissue to the first. We're gonna ignore the wild stuff that's happened later, and then you release Halloween Kills, which is literally everything that happened later.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really, like.
Also, the acting. Good God, is the worst dialogue.
It really is. Like even the best actor on the planet couldn't save that dialogue.
The
You saved
Room
me
has
40 years
better
ago. I'm going to
dialogue.
save you. He's haunted my family for 40 years. 40 years. 40 years. Evil dies tonight. It's like it's bombarding you so much, and it's not natural. You can feel the writer writing it on the pages, and it just rips you right out of the movie.
Yeah, I would rather watch The Room because, like, oh hi, Mark feels way more like a person than and a 17-year-old talking about 40 years.
Yeah, that's Jason says, do we really watch Halloween movies for acting?
Yes.
You know, the first two movies are they're just solid characters. They're nothing like Shakespearean. I think H2O's, you know, decent. 4 is okay. 5, ugh. 6, woof. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a fair thing, but like, there's a difference between like just solid acting, going above and beyond. Like, I'm not asking for everybody to be like Denzel or Leonardo or, you know, these big time actors. I'm just write that, like, dialogue, characters, and story are the cheapest thing you can do for a movie. And when that sucks, it doesn't matter the cinematography, the music, special effects. If the dialogue, the characters, the story sucks, it's over. There is no story, really. There is not good dialogue, and the characters suck.
There's redeemable qualities in bad acting, but when you pair the scene that feels unnatural for everybody in the room and they don't go against it and they deliver the cringe line over and over and over and over and over and over again, it's just a chore to get through. I can't. Oh my God. And the fact that there's a chant to the movie, like why? It's not a musical. Stop it.
Right. But and Jason says there's no story in the first Halloween. Well, the first Halloween was built on simplicity. Like, it wasn't built to be a franchise. It's the same thing with the second Halloween, like I always talk about, with this shtick of the family angle. It only plays for so long before it gets worn out. It was never meant to do anything. Like, it was a quality shot movie, had a good thought. Friday the 13th knew what it was, and it kept pumping out like fast food garbage carnage. That movie's not about quality, it's about quantity. It's about enjoying fast food. Like, that's the difference. Like, the first one's all about, you know, evil escaping and the doctor and like innocence, and it could be anybody, and then he's shot and he could be anywhere. It's just about simplicity.
That was the story. It was just, he picked a random group of teens, he went after them, he gets shot, hear the breathing at the end when he disappears. That's it. That was it. There was no plans past that. Nothing. Right.
I mean, it was also like, that's the beginning of like the tropes in the future. Like, I know that John Carpenter and Deborah Hill never really said that they intended on, like, you know, she's not sleeping around, she's not doing all this stuff, so that's why she's the final girl. It's just one of those things where she was paying more attention because she wasn't trying to hook up and do all this different stuff. I mean, she smokes weed in the movie, so it's not like she's perfect, but like, the movie has a nice pace to it. There is a story. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but to a degree, I mean, the times when it's like the Superman 78 is better than Logan argument. Like for its time and what it was, it's just Superman's better. Anyway, so my number 13, 12, 11 is Resurrection. And I got to be honest, I'm tired of everybody giving Busta Rhymes a hard time. After Ends, if you support and give what happens to Michael a pass and Ends, then I don't want to hear you talking about Busta Rhymes in Resurrection, because Busta Rhymes gets 4 hits on Michael. Shut up. I actually think that Busta Rhymes is the most entertaining, best part of Resurrection. And last time I went into it, had me a beverage, knew it was going to be garbage, turned my brain all the way off, and just had a good time. And I'm saying that at its number 11, it's not a good movie. Every single issue that people talk about, I will agree, other than Busta Rhymes. First few minutes are great and horrible. Ending is and horrible, and a couple good shots. Like The Mask is solid. I think that
most of the kills are weak. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, but yeah, what's it, Brad Larray in that he Brad, in that yeah he's solid. Michael Myers. Mask is great, moves great, tunnels are stupid. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's a bad movie, but it's, if I have to watch it or if I'm just like wanting to suffer, it's not bad.
Yeah. I enjoy Resurrection because I have a lot of ties to it, as I've talked about before. I don't think it's a great movie. But my number 11 is Halloween 5.
Oh!
I mean, Revenge of Michael Myers. I love the movie. I do. I absolutely love it. I think it's the best Donald Pleasance that we get in the franchise.
Oh, I think, that's a deep cut.
Yeah. I think that the risks that were taken in this movie did not pay off, but it's entertaining to watch. So a little bit of a nostalgia has my love for it, but no, it doesn't deserve much better than the 11 spot.
Yeah, that's what sucks. The opening is trash, and the very ending is trash. Like the very, very last 5 minutes is trash, but the last 20 minutes before that is pretty entertaining, and then there's some good shots. Like you said, Donald Pleasance has got a good performance in there. Jamie Lloyd does okay for what little they give her and everything. Yeah, my number 10 is Halloween 5. For those reasons, and The Mask, it sucks, but it's not as bad as some. Halloween 5 is one of those that you're either gonna love or hate Tina. You're either gonna love or hate the adjustments to the Myers house and The Mask and the characters, and it's very jarring. Once again, you had Halloween 4 that's pushing you in this direction, and Halloween 5 goes, well, we're gonna backtrack on this, but we're gonna go nuts over here. Again, kind of a fever dream. I feel like Jamie was just dreaming all of this stuff, and maybe that's how you can get around it and try to make it work. But I understand why they did things. They just did them poorly, and they did a lot of it what is against the grain. And you gotta, with Ends, if it lands and it's different, you gotta respect it. But damn, what were you thinking on some of that? Michael Myers just laying there for a year. But once again, laying there for a year probably made more sense than just hanging out in the sewer for 4 years. I don't know. Anyway.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sorry, Heroes in a Half Shell. So that brings me to my number 10, which is your number 11, which is Resurrection. Like I said before, I absolutely love this movie, but it's not a good movie. I am 100% entertained when I watch it. It's a bad movie. It's the first Halloween I saw in theaters. I love it. It's a bad movie. I've probably watched it second or third most of any of the Halloween films. This is a bad movie.
That's crazy.
I have 2 Resurrection masks. It's a bad movie.
Yeah, I mean, it also shows the time when you were alive. Like, I think since I'm just a little bit older than you, like, I gravitate towards H2O as, like, my young, upcoming connection with that. So I could definitely see that. Being, you know, I mean, it can still entertain you and still be really, really bad where you, like, you got also like I talk about a lot is you got to be in the mood. Like, it depends on like what kind of entertaining. If you, I'm only in the mood to watch a bad movie that was supposed to be good very rarely. So yeah, it can still entertain you when you're in the mood, but my mood to watch that's going to be low.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hear you. I mean, I can agree with that. That is, I mean, entertaining is a huge factor when ranking anything, but yeah, yeah. So this is where things get unfair and stupid because I've got to put H3 somewhere, and I can't put it above anything else. Like I talked about earlier, this is not a Halloween movie to me. It doesn't belong in the franchise in a box set. It has nothing to do with the lore or anything to do with Michael Myers. Michael Myers is on TV in the movie. It has nothing to do with the Halloween franchise. It's in there in Wright's name only, and what could have been but was not. Anyway, this is where H3 would land. It is a solid movie. You know, opening's cool. Middle of it kind of drags. The ending is awesome. If you're in the 80s vibes and like just the way it ends on a cliff note, right? Like, it's a fun movie. I just have no real want to watch it that often because it's pretty straightforward and I just don't get a whole lot out of it. But it doesn't offend me like a couple of these movies ahead of it.
Fair. Which would bring me to my number 9, which is Rob Zombie's Halloween, 2007 reboot.
Oof. Yeah.
Now, again, I watched this in theaters a lot. I bought it on DVD. I watched it a lot. I thought it was the best of the reboots and all that, and then it aged poorly. That said, it's got a high entertainment value and I absolutely enjoy watching it. But it is not a good Halloween movie. That's just true.
Right. Well, that's why, like, I was talking about wanting to even like put the Rob Zombie Halloween movies in this list is because other than the first 30 minutes of the prequel, like it being a prequel, like this is just a different version, copy paste. Like, it does its own thing to certain degrees and it takes a little creative liberty, which I appreciate and I like. But really, though, it's kind of cheating to put a templated movie up against other movies that tried to do other things or introduce new lore or new characters or whatever. So yeah, but I'm going to put them in there mostly as entertainment, as what I would watch them. My next one, and this does hurt because I get entertainment about this. And what's crazy to me, Caleb, is that your H2 Rob Zombie's above your H1, but that's fine. I get it. Like I just said, his was kind of a copy paste with a little reimagining and a prequel. I get it. H2 is its own thing. It's fresh, and it's, if you were in for it, you're in for it. I get it. Anyway, my next one could arguably be, in my opinion, the most objectively worst Halloween movie in the franchise when it comes to story and characters and how they're handled. And that's Halloween H6. Producer's cut, theatrical cut. I'm putting them together because screw it. I get confused unless I watch them back to back. I know I prefer the theatrical ending better than I do the producer's cut. I like H6. I turn my brain all the way off like I do with Resurrection, and I enjoy it. But what they do to Michael is unforgivable. What they do to Jamie is unforgivable. I mean, the stupid story character decisions for Donald Pleasance's character, Loomis, makes no sense. The old characters they put in there make no sense. This movie offends me. Like, out of all these movies on the list, this one offends me the most when you talk about Michael Myers and Jamie. It ruins the trilogy, the Thorn trilogy. Loose, I know, it's loosely called that. It ruins the Thorn trilogy for me in the same way that Ends ruins the David Gordon Green trilogy. I like it. I can still enjoy the rock and roll, the cinematography. Michael's awesome. you know, I like a lot of what the movie does, but the characters are terrible, and what they do to Michael is, I don't know how people can defend it. It is entertaining, but you got to really jump those logs. And I feel Jason going off. I can see it. I can see it. Resurrection isn't bad though. Hang on. I think Adult Myers shows up for 40 plus minutes in Zombie 1. Yeah. What? Michael is a machine. He is. Bruins. It's the best of the three. Like, as entertaining, I could probably agree with that. But as far as like quality and story, it's the worst. I mean,
quality and story, I would say second. It's in the middle.
I mean, other than the beginning of 5, there's nothing that they do to Michael that really is atrocious to me, that destroys. Like, if you were to tell me that in the first Halloween movie that Michael was going to end up assaulting his niece and impregnating her and trying to kill / transfer a curse to that baby, people would like, after they made $750,000 or whatever it was, people would have laughed off the scene. Like, no way. No, 75 million, excuse me, 75 million. Back to the story nonsense. We don't need it in the Halloween film. Oh my God, man. It's a franchise that was built on simplicity, and every time you derail it, I'm not going to like it. Uh-oh.
Uncle?
Oh, God. Terrible.
So that's why Halloween 5 is at the bottom of my list. So my next pick is going to piss John off, and I don't care. It is a good entry. It is a good film. Had no business being as good as it is.
Uh-oh.
But after what it turned into, I can't. And that's Halloween 2018. Sits at number 8.
That's what sucked, man, is it jacked with mine too. Like, it had so much potential. You're like, I'm so happy. We're getting back to basics, and Myers is awesome, and Laurie's kind of dumb, but it was fun. Yay! Oh, no. Yeah.
So, Jason, the difference here is over-explanation. So, the first Halloween is based on simplicity. Guy escapes, guy murders, guy gets killed, guy isn't dead, random, no explanation, no nothing. Halloween 2 starts the explanation, but about this much. After that, it's all over-explained. Every single one of these films down on this list is over-explained. I would say Resurrection doesn't over-explain, and I would say H2O doesn't over-explain. I feel like every other film here tries to give too much of an explanation as to why Michael does what he does. So although I don't agree with John's decision, I do agree with that point, which makes me, in essence, agree and see your point of view.
I love that. That's all we need is Michael in a mask killing a bunch of randoms. A simple process. I like that. I do like that, and that's why I can appreciate people for loving kills, because if that's what you're there for, kills delivers. So I completely understand that.
Yeah.
Where you love ends because they did something different, not at the end of this trilogy. Not at the end. Do it in the beginning, and then it is what it is. And like, I'll be on the ride to see if it gets better. But damn, like, you ended, and now I have all these questions that'll never get answered. Like,
if that story arc had spread throughout the trilogy, I think I would be more okay with it, except for those 2 scenes that took place underground. Everything else, I probably would have been a lot more comfortable with. I think it would have worked out better. But to just drop it,
even that, like, the last 20 minutes, like I said, it felt like this is what we really want to do, but this is the ending we always had in mind. So like, it just felt like we were going this whole way, and then you're like, well, actually, we don't actually care about that. Let's go back to this. So if they would have completely been transferring and completely following through with passing the torch or whatever, I would have bought it. I would have been like, okay, I still wouldn't have liked it, but I would have had more respect for the movie doing something. No, they abandon it, and it pisses me off. So going from H6, which I enjoy, but it I just said what I said. Anyway, going from H6 I really like this movie, but I gotta get over a few hurdles. And every time I watch the movie, there's a couple hurdles that always drop the movie down, and it's H4. I really like Halloween 4. Loomis is great in it. Michael's okay. Not one of my favorite Michaels, but he doesn't do anything that offends me or that I don't, love. It's just the hockey pads and the mask are terrible. Again, sorry, Jason, my bad, but story is important to me. When I know that Jamie Lee Curtis didn't want to come back, so you completely write her character off, and then the dad is dead too. You kill off the dad and the mom instantly and introduce a new character I don't care about, and then you continue on the family story that like I said, it's a shtick that only lasts so long. Between that, the mask, and then just the climax is stupid, like Michael being a ninja on the back of the truck, and then they just shoot him down into the well tunnel thing. Like, I like the movie, I get enjoyment out of it, but this is where the franchise really starts to get into guilty pleasure, because the quality, it feels like a cash grab. It's like, oh, it's 10 years later. How do we bring Michael back? We'll figure that out. We shot him in both eyes and blew him up. We'll do that. Oh, we can't get Jamie Lee Curtis back. Well, she was just in a bed for the last movie. God forbid she just does the same thing this one. She had a daughter. We'll use the daughter, and it just feels lazy. I like the movie. It just feels lazy. The aspect ratio is different from Halloween 1 and 2, and it's so jarring, and it feels made for TV. I like the cinematography, but that is jarring to me. It took me forever to figure out what that was, but that's the problem. Don't like the opening. I know a lot of people love the opening. I don't like the opening. I don't like the closing. I don't know, man. I like it, but it irritates me, and it becomes kind of a guilty pleasure.
I don't even have words, so I'm just going to go to my next.
Is awesome.
My number 7 is Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. I have nothing negative to say about it other than I'm still mad it has the title Halloween. It's an awesome 80s horror movie. I am sad that it never got picked up further.
Yeah, I'd love to see a reboot. I really think that a reboot with really good practical and CGI, I think with, a bit bigger budget, because the budget really does show in the movie, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think that a reboot would be, I think it'd be great. I really do. But Paul says, we got a ranking first 5. We got Halloween 1 for number 1, 18 for 2. I like it. We got H2O for 3, 81 for 4, and 2007 for 5. That's a pretty solid list. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It again, you can feel that, like, the simplicity, the basics, just trying to keep it simple in that list. And that's yeah. I feel you. Jason says atrocious. Oh God. Jason's would be like Kills, Rob Zombie's H2, H6. What's next? Resurrection and H4. I'm gonna guess.
Oh.
So I'm on number 6.
I just did number 7.
So yeah, so I went before you, so I'm on 6, right? That's how that works.
Yes. That's math.
That's math. So this creeped up the list. We did a commentary on it, and I watched it again since then, and I don't know why. Like, it's the nuances, it's the subtleties, it's the intensity. It's a repeat, but I love it. You delete that first 30 minutes of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007, and I love that Michael. I just do. I love that Loomis. I've said it before where, movie to movie, I don't know which Loomis I like better. To be fair, I don't know. I won't argue it right now, but But yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween, like I said, once you get to, like, if you start the movie at, like, the rest stop or whatever, where Michael has the orange mask and he gets the new mask and move on from there, I like the movie a lot. Cole edits or whatever that edited down, even better version.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rob Zombie's but that is with me not watching the first 30 minutes because for the for the most part I fast forward that if I'm not in the mood for it. But I will say that I do like Ronnie in the movie, so sometimes I'm in the mood to watch it just as for how bad it is and for how like rock and roll in
Honestly,
the face it is. So
I like to start the movie where Michael kills the spy kid. That's like that's the start of the movie for me.
that's solid. That's solid. I
Yeah.
also like that the scene where they're in the hospital and they're talking about the colors and stuff like that, and the black is the absence of color. You know,
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. I don't know. It's like the metaphor. It's trying to get it a little deeper in the movie. I don't know. It just works for it. But yeah, I like
Yeah.
Rob Zombie too. But I mean, I might enjoy H6 more. But God, at least in Rob Zombie's thing can just be like it's over here and it's nice, but I can delete it and go back to just 78 and 81 and like so it's a weird spot.
Yeah. No, I can respect that because I do enjoy Rob Zombie's Halloween, but it is problematic to no end.
Right.
But I can sit down and watch it. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween had no business being as good as it was. Rob Zombie's movies, given his previous movies he produced, was presently surprised. Yeah, before that he did Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand, and then the other one. I can't remember what it's called, but the other one. Anyway, yeah, man, I hear you there. All right, man, number 6 for you.
Number 6, Halloween H2O.
Whew. Okay.
It's fairly low. It's got a lot working against it in my mind, but it is a fantastic stab at a movie that's 20 years later. If they're like, hey, we want to erase this Thorn trilogy crap, we want to try and again go back to kind of a basic story arc. If you delete Resurrection, it is a stellar step. But unfortunately, we all know how that goes. So, and I think this is part of why Resurrection goes so far down my list and this is so high, is that I feel like this Lori I can really connect with. She was like, you know what? I don't want to live anywhere near all this. I'm gonna go over here. Yes, dude stalked me forever, so I kind of got a little bit of a drinking thing. I need to just, I don't like going out on Halloween. I want to protect my kid on Halloween. Like, I get it. That works. That all works. What doesn't work there is Michael after H2, but that's fine. I can live with that because as you'll notice, I haven't announced H4 yet, but it's a solid movie. It gets me in the vibe for Halloween. Every time I watch it, I'm like, ooh, it is Halloween season. So yeah, it had to fall somewhere. Unfortunately, it's lower than a few just based on my personal entertainment value.
Yeah, but that's crazy that Rob Zombie's H2 is ahead of H2O to me. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I can see why it's more entertaining. Like something is like for the most part always happening. Somebody's always yelling. I get it. So I get
But
it.
he's always yelling.
Oh God! Or saying the F word 15 times in a row. Yeah, man. Yeah, so after Rob Zombies, my number 5 is actually Halloween Kills. When we first reviewed
Hold on. No.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So I'll explain. So when we first reviewed Halloween Kills outside the theater, we were both pissed. We were both promised one thing from 18, and then got delivered something completely different with piss poor dialogue. and a terrible ending. Like they said, well, COVID, la 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 la. Well, we couldn't shoot it, so we had to shoot it on a merry-go-round in a soundstage, and it looks terrible. And like the ending has no real reason, and this is what happens. But for me, the reason why Kills goes above 4 and 6 and Rob Zombies is because Michael's awesome. I mean, he just is. I don't like the soundstage ending at the end, but Michael is freaking awesome. I like both Johns. I really do. I like Allison to a degree. There's a couple points in the movie where I thought she was stupid, and they were trying to make her a final girl that she just wasn't. Cameron's death is awesome. Spoiler. I really like aspects of Kills. Like I kind of have to mute everything that's not Michael Myers stuff, but 4 is a guilty pleasure. Kills is a guilty pleasure. 6 offends me. Rob Zombies is entertaining, and it has just enough spark to get above those. Kills outdoes it just a little bit because James Jude Courtney is attached to the 78 original, and he's awesome. Probably the best performance of Michael Myers ever. I don't know what to say, man. I hear you. The really good outweighs the bad just enough to get it at this spot. I know. I hear you. Man, H4, I'm telling you, the plot holes and the stupid, well, here's the daughter. You don't care. We don't care. Like, he's superhuman. He just shakes it off. Like Loomis got blown up and he gets to live too. Granted, they do the same thing in H2O, but like, I'm telling you, it's the stupid aspect ratio and the dumb plots and the story angles of H4 and the shoulder pads, man. And the mask is just not scary. Like, sorry, I know. My bad. I know. I don't know what to tell you. I still pretend that ends didn't happen and that we're going to get a better conclusion that will help me feel better about Kills. I still have this like aura that's like, no, there is a good ending to this. Like, Kills is better because like there's a spell on the town and Michael's under, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I got nothing for you. I'd rather watch Kills than Rob Zombies, than the H4 and the H6, H5 Resurrection. I think that it's got a better, less annoying story. I think that Michael's awesome. Michael doesn't sexually assault his niece. They don't just kill characters off screen. It's not just a rinse and repeat with a prequel I don't like. My bad. I'm sorry, man. I got nothing for you there. I'm sorry. You had to know Kills was coming soon. I hadn't said it yet. I don't know if you just got confused, but
so my number 5 is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Oh God. Yeah, what are you looking at me for, man? It's Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Like 92% of every Halloween fan hates that movie.
And this movie has a way cooler Michael than Halloween Kills. This movie has a way more awesome Michael costume. This movie has, for the most part, better dialogue. No, I'll eat that. 100% better dialogue.
Both cuts? I don't know about that.
And this movie has a more believable Loomis than Halloween Kills.
There is no Loomis in Halloween Kills.
Yes, there is.
Oh, you're talking about the beginning of it. Okay. Yeah, you're talking about the beginning. Did he kill a guy in like that you're really hanging on to that one little
Did he kill a guy in? Dude, like, it's horrible.
Loomis talks like that. I don't know what to tell you. It's just that
he
the
did
other
not
dude
talk like that. Oh my God.
He did.
John.
He did though. He really did.
No.
He did. I'll take some video clips and I'll send them to you.
No,
you don't have a police force. Like, you don't have a police boss.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
he talked like
didn't
that.
sound like he belonged in a 60s Christmas cartoon like he did in Kills.
Man, the dude is dead. Give it a break. Like, they did better than I ever thought they would.
Dude,
That
I spam the F word in real life. Like, I drop it constantly. It's a problem. Like, it's probably my every 10th to 15th word, to be honest.
same here.
Like, so if you pull the F word from H1, from Rob Zombie's H1, yeah, I'm totally there. H2, not so much. And Brad Dourif. Brad Dourif as sheriff in RZH2 is probably the best acting in any of the Halloween movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Jamie Lee does a really good job in H2O with some of the drinking and holding back the tears, and like the range she has to go from about to cry to screaming to panic to. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong because that like, 3.5 minutes or whatever is phenomenal. Like, I will probably argue with anybody that the Brad Dourif Sheriff Brackett bathroom scene in Rob Zombie's H2 is no question the best part of that entire movie. Like, it's a standout for sure. So Jason says, get over the evil dogs tonight. Michael's badass and kills. Kills is my number 6 because of Michael. Heck yeah, man. See, that's what it pushes it up. Dialogue, schmonologue. How many times did the F word? Yeah. Let's see. Don't credit zombies for dialogue then. Yeah. Well, wasn't any really dialogue in that scene. It was all raw emotions. Like, it. Yeah. It made you feel like your whole life is over. It'll never be the same. It looks like he's about to throw up on the floor. Like you could see him pulling his gun out and ending it right then and there. Like,
yeah, that is the second time he found his daughter like that.
Right.
But this time she's dead.
Right.
Like, that's just it. That is. So yeah, both of our number 5s are controversial to each other, which is fun.
Yeah, you just objectively the movie's terrible, but subjectively I understand all the love. I really do. So
I feel the same about Kills.
Well, like I said, I still have this thing where I thought ends will make Kills better. Like, they will explain it. Like, they'll sell it. No, they never will.
No, that's it. That's all she wrote. It's done.
Yeah, sucks, man. When that movie ended, I thought, like, is this a joke? Like I don't know.
Waiting for Ashton Kutcher to roll out of a van in the back alley, like, punked.
Right. Well, I kind of felt like they were going to be like, gotcha, this is what we were going to do. Here's the real movie. Like, I don't know. Yeah, let me see if I'm caught up here. So anyway, this, my top 4, I love these movies. There's one in there that I think is a guilty pleasure. But I love these movies objectively, subjectively. These are the ones I would grab. I mean, 9.5 times out of 10, like 95% of the time, I'm gonna grab one of these 4. So my number 4 is H18. Like I said, I think as I ranked him, James Jude Courtney is my favorite Myers. That's kind of a cheat because he did get 40 years to, 40 years to look at all the stuff that worked and what didn't. So, it's a bit of a cheat, but to me, he's the best Myers. I like the Laurie thing. I think it is a bit far-fetched. I do think H2O is a better fit for a normal person that especially when we were talking about One Night, when H2O is talking about 80 or 78 and 81. I like Allison a lot in this movie. I like Oscar, the boyfriend's friend, her friend. I like a lot of the characters. The babysitter, I can't remember her name now. Dave and whatever else. Anyway, I like the movie start to finish. I love how brutal Michael is. Like I've always said, it felt like in the first movie, like you know, he was addicted to killing, and now the more he kills, the more he needs to kill. You know, he feels like a cocaine addict, and he just needs more and more and more, and it goes faster and faster. And I love H18. I think the ending was pretty solid. You know, some stupid decisions made, but nothing too terrible. I hate Happy Halloween, Michael. God dang, is that stupid. But yeah, overall, I think H18 is great, and I really wish they would have stuck the landing. The money got in the way, egos got in the way, Jamie Lee Curtis got in the way, I feel like, and we ended up getting what we got. And like, you didn't learn. It's like everything people said that they liked, you did less of. Like the dialogue. Well, you tripled down in kills. I just don't understand. And then you scrapped everything and did ends. I just don't understand. Anyway, that's my number 4 is 2018's Halloween. Love it. For me, this trilogy ends here. So it's 78, 18, done. Like, and once again, kills would be a guilty pleasure just to watch Michael, but it would be so frustrating because there's just not a good ending unless you just like evil is always out there, which is probably fine enough. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Halloween 2018 is one of those movies that, like, I really enjoy. I just really wish it would have ended there.
Yeah.
God,
And
I wish it would have.
probably should have. I mean, it was my number 2 for the longest time until Kills came out. And then Kills, it helped 2018 in a couple ways, but it mostly just took the legs out from underneath it. It felt like they started off the race really well, and then somebody just like stuck their foot out and just tripped them. And then they got back up and they're like, chugga, chugga, chugga. And then somebody came out and like shot a bazooka from the stands, like in Money Talks. But anyway, yeah.
I have to disagree, Jason. Kill's ending was trash.
And it's trash because Ends does nothing with it at all. It erases it. Like, I mean, for the most part,
dude, Ends is the Pepperidge Farm remembers guy. Like that's Ends. God, that brings us. I'm at 4 now. How did this happen? Okay, my number 4 is one of John's least favorite movies of all time, and that is Halloween: Curse of Michael Myers. I don't really discriminate between cuts. I do enjoy both of them. I get it. John has a problem with the story. I don't. At this point, a fan writer was given the option to fix what was wrong with Halloween 5, and because it was the 90s, everything was satanic cults. Works, fits, timeline, get it, understand it. Is it the best? Absolutely not. Is Michael the best? Right up there. Right up there. Absolutely. Oh my God. I could watch Halloween 6 anytime. Anytime. I love this movie. Front to back. Both cuts.
I don't have a problem with the cult. I got a problem with what the cult makes Michael do. And I got a problem with what they do to characters.
That was the generalization idea of what cults would do. Like, it wasn't a stretch. It was just bleh.
Right, but like, just killed Jamie. Like, why did you have to like make a baby with your blood relative? Like, I get it. It is kind of like satanic cult feeling, but I don't want to see my super. I don't want to hear my super villain doing that. Like, I could just like you manipulated Michael. I always thought like Michael should have been like the Incredible Hulk. Like, you can't really like the real version of the Incredible Hulk, where like the Avengers couldn't even use him because he would just destroy more than he would help. So you just kind of like you misdirect the police, you pay off the police, you pay off some judges or something like that. You intervene to clear things out of Michael's path until Michael's done killing his blood relatives or something like that. So like they're going after Jamie, Michael's going after Jamie. There's a way to do this movie and not have it be controlling Michael and making him assault his dude. And then you recast because reasons. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. and you kill off so early, and then oh god, like it. I mean, I'm glad they did it to try to keep the franchise alive because it just shows that you kind of care, even though it's more of a cash grab. I don't know. I just don't understand. Like cocaine, you should have had your cocaine usage under control by the mid '90s. Like I get it, mid '80s, everybody's doing cocaine. Do more of it. Throw it on the screen. Give me Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Why not? But by now you should have had your cocaine under control. Anyway, by now they're doing heroin, and they were just like, dude, I don't care. We make $5 off this. I'm good. Oh, we can't get Daniel Harris back. We'll save $5 more. That's one more hit. Give it to me. Like I just don't understand. Best mask in the series, dude. It's up there. That is a solid mask.
Yep, John Carl Biegler.
Batman's cape is covering the Red Ranger. Yeah, I bonked my head when I got emotional. Yeah. Hey,
it's fine. It's fine.
Right there.
So yeah, that's my number 4. John ranted for 5 minutes just now about.
I'm sorry. We're going to talk here in just a second. We're going to come up with an objective list if we can do that.
Probably.
H2O is my number 3. A lot of nostalgia gets played into this. I mean, the beginning is great. I understand the complaints. To me, it makes sense. Laurie would move away after H2. She'd be gone. See you later. Not coming back. Bye. She would be an alcoholic. It fits her character that she was a smart bookworm. So she works her way up to being the headmistress of this school. I like the vibes. I like the music. Anybody that calls it a Scream ripoff, I kind of want to slap you in the mouth. Like, I get it that the music is there, and I get it that Scream set the tone for the 90s, but, like, I want to hear people crying about H2, 81, is a Friday the 13th. If you're going to be so weird and emotional about this movie, copying and carrying stuff over from Scream, then get mad at H2 for copying stuff from Friday the 13th. Like, I just don't want to hear it. Love the ending. The ending of this movie is one of the best endings in the entire franchise. The showdown lasts. It's long. It's drawn out just right.
Man, when Michael goes flipping those tables, woo.
Yeah. Right. That was the scene that was left over from H4, dude. Like, I mean, like, the masks are terrible. Like, the middle drags a little bit. Like, but I like the characters. The kills are a little weak, but it goes back to more of the 78 vibes mixed with a little bit of 81. It feels right. Cinematography is a little clean, but it feels progressively right. Like, I don't know. Jamie Lee Curtis is prepared. I like Josh Hartnett and Josh Hartnett. Yeah, I like Josh Hartnett. Pretty much everything he's in. That is a good looking dude. He's cool in every single movie, and he shot this and The Faculty back to back. I love H2O. I always will love H2O. I get some understanding why some people don't like it, but for the most part, it feels very like the normal continuation after 81. It just does for me.
Yeah.
The whole movie drags. I mean, I get it. Like, after, like, when he starts driving till when he passes, like, LL Cool J, there's a long chunk of trying to get you re-involved with Laurie and her kids and yada yada. But I'm down to hear about Laurie. I'm down to hear about her new kid. I get it. I'm in for it. So they explore the trauma and the drinking and the da-da-da. Like, I don't know. I love H2O. I just do.
No, I don't. I can't argue with H2O being there, but I think my pick's better.
Which is?
Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers. It is the most Halloween-feeling Halloween film. Between the opening, the setting, what Haddonfield looks like, it feels like fall. The one thing that I find problematic in the movie is that it feels a little bit too much like a teen drama. with some of the story, whereas the other films focused less on that stuff, or at least broke up those scenes enough that they didn't drag. Um, with Halloween 4, it just kind of keeps going here and there until the action hits. But Michael himself is awesome. He looks horrible. But like he's a force to be reckoned with. He uses a gun in a way that guns should not be used, and it's freaking awesome. The thumb through the forehead is just amazing. The opening sequence, up and until his escape, is probably one of my favorite Halloween segments. Probably top 5 Halloween segments. Just is. I do think Halloween H2O is a better continuation from H2 than Halloween 4 is. I mean, if you technically neither should exist. If you end Halloween 2, everybody's dead but Laurie and the guy. Like, that's just Michael is dead.
I will say that. I will say that, like, this is what I should have mentioned was H2O for me is a bit of a guilty pleasure. And now, like, what you're talking about right now, like, so now we've gone beyond just like it's a one night shtick, it plays for one night, to he is full on supernatural. He got shot in both eyeballs and blown up and stabbed and shot so many times, blah, blah, blah. In H4, you feel that supernatural. Like, you feel it. In H2O, there's some supernatural elements again, but it's toned back down to, the normal Myers in H1 and H2. So I will say, as far as, like, going for it, I think that H4 does a better job at that, if that makes sense. Not that I'm, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I mean, am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But
okay, yeah, H4, yeah, I mean, it's weird too. Like Loomis is a little messed up, but he's in the room with Myers when they blow up. But like Michael's still full on bandaged, and I don't know if that's just because like Loomis actually paid to have his stuff fixed, and Michael was on the county's dime, and so they didn't give him anything. I don't know, but Mike, yeah, Jason's right there with you that he loves H4, but Michael looks awful, and that's what I was saying. Like with the deep fake, man, like how have they not wanted to cash grab this and just deep fake that for a cash grab? Like, I don't know if there's like a rights thing where they could never do that, but like, think how many people would buy a Blu-ray or a 4K copy if you deep fake that and kind of fix the shoulder pads and stuff like that. I would buy one day one. If you fix the mask in H2, I'd buy it in H2O, I'd buy it day one. H5, day one. I just don't know why you just so, at least in H5, it doesn't shift as egregiously. But anyway, my number two, and then I'll just go into my number one, just because obviously number 2 and 1, and then I'll just let you take over and finish up your 2 and 1. My number 2 is Halloween 2. It's always been in like the 3 spot, at least ever since H18. It's back in number 2 because it flows perfectly. It's a little slow in the middle. Like they should have picked it up a little bit. Thank God John Carpenter came in for reshoots. Otherwise, it would be a completely different movie that would be a lot lower, I'm assuming. But again, it feels like a natural progression of Michael after that first movie. The family shtick only, for a whole night, it plays out well enough. I don't like it, but it plays out well enough. The unconscious mind of evil, it plays that he got shot a couple times and to the end of the night, boom, blows up. I can suspend my disbelief until the end, dude, but some of the shots where like he's in the kitchen and in the background you see him, and then some of the shots like as he's moving around and like by the babies and like the nursery and stuff like that, when he's walking into the bedrooms, and at the end, I hate when he's going up the stairs all robotic. Not Dick Warlock's fault. That's just how they told him to do it. They were drawing out the end of the movie. But the gas tanks, the blood tears, the "it's time, Michael," boom, like the best ending in the franchise. I don't know. We could have an argument for H2O. I don't know. But I love H281. Great follow-up. Could have been tightened up, cut out about 20 minutes, and it's even a better movie. And then that leaves me into number one, which is 1978's Halloween. I won't hear it. Like, if you enjoy other movies on the list, I get it. If you're younger and it just doesn't do it for you, I get it. But somebody my age and older, like, I just want to hear you say 78. Otherwise, it's cool if you like another movie. Like, that's awesome that something could outdo the godfather of slashers for the most part. The godfather of slashers. If one of the other movies in the franchise outdoes this, that's awesome. I can't even, in my mind, can't fathom it other than subjectively enjoying the movies. Anyway, I rant. This is as much fun as I have all week, so I'm sorry. Go ahead, Caleb. What is your number two and number one?
Same. Halloween 2, number 2. Just barely beats out Halloween 1. I know the creative minds behind Halloween 2 absolutely hate it, but it turned out to be the best sequel made. Like, it just is the best Halloween sequel. Michael looks amazing. Loomis's increased interest and difficulty and struggle. I thoroughly enjoy the film. And number one is 78. I have watched 78 so much that it's like I save that movie for like a special time now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not the one that I pop on to have in the background. It's not the one that I'll just have like playing for 30 minutes while I do a task or anything like that. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna watch Halloween. It's got my attention when it's on.
Right. From this point forward in slashers, you don't have Friday the 13th. You don't have A Nightmare on Elm Street. You don't have a lot of these movies. If John Carpenter and company, Deborah Hill and everybody else did not do Halloween 78. It just is what it is. Obviously, you had other movies before this movie. When When the Stranger Calls was before this, right? Like,
yeah,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You had Psycho. You had Black Christmas, which I think 78 Halloween is a huge ripoff of Black Christmas, and I've been through that before, where he talked to Bob Clark, and Bob Clark said that he would do a sequel around Halloween and do the theme around that, which is, it's a ripoff. I don't know what to tell you. Like Bob Clark harbored no ill will towards John Carpenter and said that it's its own thing and whatnot, but like, I love 78. It's just hard not, once you watch Black Christmas, it's hard to not go, wow, like, dang, you really did copy a lot, and just, put it on your own flavor. But they just did it a lot better, and they perfected it, and it was palatable. Like, it's a scary, for the time, it's a good build of suspense all the way to the tippy top. Whereas like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a lot to watch. Psycho was great, but that's 18 years before now, and like, they hadn't made the sequel yet. Like the Black Christmas, that's a Canadian film that kind of just petered out. Like, it just didn't have the legs that this movie would have. So anyway, ranting on that. So Caleb, I get your list. Hey, if you more subjectively love movies, that's like Jason said earlier, it's all about entertainment. I completely get it. For whatever reason, since I was even a little kid, there's just some things that there's just roadblocks that I just can't get out of my brain because it's objectively bad. Like, would you rather, like in H4, would you rather have them kill her off, or would you rather kill the family ties, or would you rather have them recast Jamie Lee Curtis? Like, out of those three, if you had to kill her off screen and just end the bloodline, recast, or whatever the other one I said, what would you have done? Like
thinking about if I was in the position to make such a choice, I would probably, you can't recast, but I don't think I would have continued the family angle as hard. I think I maybe would have put Michael in a completely different scenario.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah. I mean,
would
just,
have
yeah,
probably
just
been the wrong thing to do, but it's what I would have wanted to do.
right. Yeah. Just say 10 years later, yeah, she died in a car wreck and he comes back. And then later on, you could have fixed it and said that she faked her own death or whatever. And then he finds out or whatever. And, there's a way to do this without her. I think they loved the family angle, and that was so a part of it that they had to keep going. But
Yeah, Michael would keep
yeah,
coming back, and yeah,
right.
no explanation. Just maybe we could have kept Donald Pleasance in it, so he's still his doctor. He's still hunting him down, but maybe he doesn't go back to Haddonfield. Maybe he goes somewhere else.
Right. Yeah. Or yeah, just do like the Halloween return script, right? Where like he survives
Absolutely.
the explosion, he's on death row, Loomis is there. Like somebody from like the happy side of life is like, no, all life is sacred. We should keep him alive. Blah 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 blah. And Loomis is like, no, he needs to die. Like blah 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 blah. Like I think that could be a very interesting thing. And then at the end of that movie, he breaks out. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so we've got Caleb, and it's funny because Jason says that I'm older and 78 does nothing for me. Like, I get it by how you like movies. I get it. So we've got our number one is Halloween 78. We both agree on that. Two is 81, and our dead last is Ends. Okay, this is where it's going to get funky. So H2O on yours was what, 6, 5? I can't remember.
6.
H2O was 6 on yours and 3 on mine. Dang, man. So I'll give you. Wow, you put kills at. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this. Objectively, you put kills. Well, in your list, you put kills at 12. I got kills at 5. God dang, that's tough. Let's go objectively, though. Objectively, what's the second worst movie in the franchise? Objectively. I mean, and mostly objectively means story and character, right? Like, you could have the Imperial March from Star Wars, and you can have the 78, and you can have the Jaws theme and all this stuff and the cinematography, but at the end of the day, like the story and the dialogue and the whatever, that's what objectively makes a good movie. So like, what would be the second worst objectively, Caleb? And I'll try to meet you in the middle here. Halloween 5?
Halloween 5.
Now tell me why Halloween 5 over H6. Objectively, story.
If you're looking at groups and how they're ranked across the world, Halloween 5, because everything changed. The house changed, the mask changed. The continuation of the story makes no sense. I mean, it wasn't like it made a lot of sense in H4, but now she can't speak because reasons. And then you have a director who gives you characters that they didn't plan. They didn't have an idea. They just wanted to toss them in, make it look creepy. Halloween 5 has zero direction, zero ideas, and left a mess for somebody else to try and clean up.
Okay, now I'm going to buy this because H6 had to come off H5. So it had to react off what it was given. So by objectively, let's do that. Let's put H5 in the number 12 spot. We got Jason. He said 78, 81, or H2O is the second worst. Oh my, come on, Jason. I know that's subjective. Come on. Okay, so now we got H5. So now, objectively, it ain't gonna be 18. I mean, Caleb, I mean, to be fair, let's be fair here. I think that 6 Resurrection or H2 Zombie is got to be, objectively wise, got to be number 11?
It's gonna be Resurrection or Rob Zombie's H2. Halloween 6 is a fan favorite. So it's got more respect in it, even though you really dislike it.
Okay, I'm reacting here more. I'm giving you a lot just to move this along, but God, dude, I'm gonna give you this one, but in the next one you got to give me this one. So number 11, we are gonna go
H2.
We're gonna go Rob Zombie's H2. It's just the flavor change, the lore change, all the weirdness that happens. It's got to go there. It's just got to. It's such a weird flavor change. Now, Caleb, this is where you've got to meet me here, and then I'll probably just give you the next one. But number 10 has got to be H6, man. It just has to be. The weird places they go, like out of left field, and I get it that they had to go left field. I truly do. But like character reactions, what they do to Michael.
I'll give it to you, but what's funny is amongst like fan rankings and stuff, it usually averages top 8, somewhere in the top 8. But I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll buy that. But like I said, like I enjoy the movie too. I really do. There's so many kills and atmosphere moments and stuff like that. And like John in there, the dad is a horrible. Like he's a great character that you want to die. He's up there with like Trent in the remake of Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a video we should do. Is like top 10 characters you wanted to die. Like that would be fun. Okay, so let's go H6. And then, so that would be number 9 is Resurrection.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think right after that would be Season of the Witch.
Yeah, I'll probably, I'll go there. Number 8's H3. Okay. And now number 7. So let's go the other way now. So what's the third? And then at the end, we'll go right through the list. Well, no, let's just never mind. Excuse me. We'll just keep it straight. We'll just keep it straight. Number 7.
Okay. Number 7, I would say, is Rob Zombie. H1.
Objectively.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm kind of thinking that objectively, I kind of want to put kills over Rob Zombies. Like, just for the simple fact of, like, the dialogue is trash. There really is no direction. The direction they go for is abandoned. And, like, everything that they sold us.
I'll give you that for 7. And then I would say that right above that, 6 should be RZH1.
Okay, I think that's pretty solid. Number 5, I think we've got to go
Number 5, I would go H4.
Yeah, I think so too. There's just a little bit, you got to just suspend disbelief that Loomis walked away. And then you got to sign on for the fact that your main character is dead off screen. Like, yeah, I think.
And this might piss you off, but 4, I would go H2O.
Oh, man. Yeah, no. Oh, hang on. So we've got H18 and H2O. Oh, man. Objectively, yeah, I'm going to give you that. Yep. Number 4 is H2O. Yep. Number 3 is 2018. All right. So, see, that wasn't. I object to this object.
Object to the objectivity.
Oh, God. It's so good.
That gives us 13 ends, 12 Halloween 5, 11 Rob Zombie's H2, 10 Halloween 6, 9 Halloween Resurrection, 8 Season of the Witch, 7 is Halloween Kills, 6 Rob Zombie's Halloween 1, 5 Halloween 4 The Return of Michael Myers, 4 Halloween H2O, 3 Halloween 2018, 2 original Halloween 2, and 1 Halloween 1978.
Right, and I'm gonna go the other way. So objectively, the best is 78. Like I feel like most people can get on that across the board. I'd love to hear arguments for objectively better than that. Like now, everything after 1, Facebook flagged one of the comments. That's awesome. Objectively, after 1, I would objectively, I would hear anybody's argument after the first movie, just because there's elements in each movie that I could see why it would move up and down. But anyway, so objectively, H1 78 is number 1. Halloween 2 is number 2. Objectively, the best. The third objective best is 2018. 4 H2O. 5 is H4. 6 Rob Zombie's H1. 7 is Kills. And then Halloween 3 at 8. 9 is Resurrection. 10 is H6. 11 Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. 12 is H5. And 13 is Ends. That's crazy. Now remember, thinking about objectively, or looking at this list, is there anything that stands out that makes you uncomfortable that you felt like was compromised too much? I feel pretty good after talking it out. I feel pretty good with the list. I do feel like
overall, yeah. I mean, there's a few that I would swap around. Like 6, I think would go higher, but that's just what I see commonly on people's lists. Take those top 2 and flip the list. No, sir. I am not putting Ends at number 1. Are you insane?
Well, yeah, Jason, you hate Ends, so. But anyway, Caleb's got to tap out, so do I. Keeping our voice is still going. But guys, Paul, Jason, we appreciate you guys being in here. Next week we will do the timelines of the Halloween franchise, and we'll try to do something objective there. So be thinking about that. We'll be back soon. I got more custom videos coming and unboxings. I'm even getting my son to help me out with some stuff. I've got so much. So stay tuned. Thanks again for watching. We'll be back soon. Bye-bye.
Peace.